This video is brought to you by Excel with Grace Sport-Specific and Therapeutic Yoga. The following short yoga sequence has been designed for swimmers, but is great for any athlete. What we're going to be focusing on is the knees. We want to be keeping the knees healthy. One of the biggest reasons for knee pain comes from the hips. Now there's two main culprits when we're looking at knee pain coming from the hips. One is an imbalance in mobility and strength. Two is a lack of strength in the glute muscles and poor activation. So what we're going to be doing today is addressing both of those issues. To start with, come onto your back. Inhale and bring your knees into your chest. Holding onto your shins, just start to become aware of your breath. Notice the length of the inhales, the length of the exhales. And just bring your awareness to your breath so that your focus is on the poses that we'll be doing. Also, another reason why we're focusing on the breath is we want to be moving with breath. Your next exhale. Release your shins, place your feet flat on the ground, hip distance apart. Have your feet pointed straight forward, knees pointed straight up to the ceiling, hip distance apart. Place your hands on either side of you. On an exhale, press your hands into the ground, engaging through the shoulders and the upper body. On an inhale, activating through the glutes, use the glute muscles to raise the hips into a back bridge. Now, what we're going to do is some small movements where we really want to concentrate on the movements coming from the glutes. So we'll inhale, drop 2 inches, exhale, rise 2 inches. Inhale, drop, exhale, rise. Do this about 3 more times on your own breath. Just one more time, inhale, exhale, and then we're going to come down with control and slow for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring your knees into your chest. Hands on either shin, and just start making circles with the knees, noticing how your hips feel. Reverse the direction of those circles. Next time you come to center, just come to stillness. Exhale, release the shins, place the feet flat on the ground. Exact same position. Inhale, bring the left foot off of the ground, left ankle over right thigh. Engage into that left foot and allow the leg to externally rotate from the hip. This may be enough of a stretch for you here. Remember, allow the length to come into the muscle. Do not force it. If you want more of a stretch, you can inhale, bring your right foot off the ground, right knee towards your chest. Possibly coming where both hands come around the back of the hamstring. Then engage the foot on the right side, curling the toes towards the shin. Keep your hips and your low back flat on the ground. To increase the stretch, you can bring the right knee in closer to the chest, and as you do this, press the left knee away from you so that you're building strength while you're also gaining greater weight. You'll stay here for about 3 more breaths. The exhales allow the glutes on the left side to release. On your next exhale, release your leg. Allow the right foot to come down to the floor. Inhale, unwind your left leg. Exhale, and then inhale, bring your knees back into your chest. Just noticing any differences now from when we first did this pose. Exhale, release the shins, feet come down to the ground, hip distance apart, knees hip distance apart. Inhale, bring your right foot off the ground, right ankle onto left thigh. Engage with the right foot. Sternly Gently rotated the right hip, stretching into the outer part of that hip and the glute muscle. If you need more of a stretch, inhale, bring that left foot off the ground, engage into the left foot, curling the toes towards the shins, possibly coming inside of the legs and the outside of the leg, grabbing on to the left hamstring. Remember, keep your low back on the ground, hips on the ground. As you bring your knee towards your chest, press your right knee away from your chest. Be here for about 3 more breaths. This is figure 4 pose. On your exhale, release the left leg. Inhale, unwind the right leg. Place your hands on either side of you. Take your feet about mat width apart. Inhale, and then exhale, drop your knees to the right. So just making some movement into the hips. Inhale to center, exhale, drop your knees to the left. One more time each side. Inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale, exhale to the left. Inhale back to center, and then just come onto your right side. Push yourself up, and we're going to come all the way up to standing. Our first pose when we're standing is mountain pose. This is where we want to start each one of our next poses. So it's basically perfect posture. Feet hip distance apart, 4 corners of the feet, big toe mount, little toe mount, inner and outer side of the heel, connected strong into the ground. Knees straight forward, hips in neutral, subtle engagement of the core, shoulders drop back and down, neck lengthens. Now, from mountain pose, we're going to come into chair pose. Really feel strong into those 4 corners of the feet, and think about your hips coming back. Inhale, bring your arms up. Just bring them to a point where you can still keep your traps relaxed. You may need to bend your elbows to do this. And then exhale, move your hips back, then bend into your knees. Keep your upper body vertical, strong through your core. Now, look down towards your feet, make sure that they're pointed straight forward and they're hip distance apart. Look at your knees, make sure that they're the same. You also want to make sure that you can see your toes in front of your knees. If you can't, you need to come further back into your hips, feeling the weight coming into your heels. Now we're going to create some strength through some movement here. I'm going to inhale, drop down about 2 inches, exhale, rise. Inhale, drop, exhale, rise. Do that about 3 more times. Exhale, rise, inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Allow the upper body to come close to the thighs, relaxing through your hamstrings. Place your hands on your shins. Inhale, come halfway up with the upper body, feeling the spine long, shoulders drop back and down. On the next inhale, come all the way up to standing, arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down through center. Now, the next pose we're going to do combines the figure 4 pose and chair. So we're going to be doing a standing figure 4 pose. Find mountain. We're going to come into the right foot first. It's going to be balanced on that right foot. Bring your hands to center in front of your chest. Now, on an exhale, put a slight bend into your right knee, engaging the quads. Inhale, bring your left foot off of the ground, left ankle over right thigh. On your exhale, lower down into a chair. Engage your left foot, curling the toes towards the shins. Now come to wherever is good for you. Remember, allow, don't force. Breathe. On your next inhale, slowly come up to standing. Shake it out a little bit. Find mountain pose. Really make sure you're strong into your feet. Focus on the left foot. On an exhale, engage into that left leg. Inhale, bring the right foot off of the ground. Right ankle over left thigh. Engage through the right foot. Exhale, come down into your chair. And then whatever depth that you have, you come down into that. Remember, if you need to stay up higher, allow yourself to do so. On your next inhale, come up slow, unwind, shake out again. Come to the front of your mat, place your hands on your hips. Inhale, bring your left leg to the back of your mat. Place your hands down and allow the back knee to drop down. Now we're going to come into a wide lunge. You may want to fold up the one side of your mat to give you more cushioning under your knee. Walk the leg back just a little bit more, and then on your inhale, heel toe your front foot out to the outside of your mat. Have both hands to the inside of that front foot. Untuck the toes on the back. Now, before we come forward into our lunge, square up your hips. Bring your front hip back, your back hip forward. It's a subtle movement, but brings strength in your pelvis. On an exhale, come forward with that knee. Now, if you need depth into this stretch, you can bring the knee further forward. You can bring the back knee further back, or you might even come down on to your forearms. Stay here for a few more breaths. Allow the back hip flexor to relax. On your next inhale, turn your front foot to a 45-degree angle. Curl your toes towards your shins, and then drop your knee out to whatever openness you have. Okay, remember, we're not forcing it, you're just allowing that opening to come into the hip, stretching through the glute. You may come all the way to the edge of that right foot. On your next inhale, bring the right foot flat, heel toe back to center. If your mat is folded, unfold it. Have hands on either side of the front foot. Inhale, back knee raises. Exhale, bring the back foot to meet the front into a forward fold. But right away, inhale, bring that right foot back towards the back of the mat. Exhale, drop the knee down. Possibly bring the knee back a little bit more. Untuck the toes. Inhale, heel toe, left foot to the outside of the mat. Hands on the inside of that left foot. On an exhale, come forward with that front knee. You may possibly need to square up those hips once again. Remember, front hip back, back hip forward. Breathe. And notice the difference between this side and your other side. Allow the back hip flexor to relax. On the next inhale, turn your left foot to a 45-degree angle. Engage through the foot so the toes curl towards the shin. And then exhale, allow that knee to drop out to the side. Breathe. And really notice what the differences are between the two legs. On your next inhale, bring your foot flat to the ground. Heel toe the left foot back to center. Now, you're going to bring your front foot to meet your back this time. So tuck your back toes under. Inhale and bring the left foot back to meet the right. Then, come right back onto your back. Inhale and bring your knees back into your chest. Once again, noticing differences from the first time you were here to now. And once again, just do those knee circles. And notice if there's any more openness in your hips now from when we started. At this point, you can come into a pose called Shavasana, which is basically just a pose where you want to be lying on your back, completely relaxed, and allowing the body to let go. If this is where you want to be, you can stay here for as long as you want. We're going to come just back up into a seated position. I want to thank you for watching this video. Keep those knees healthy.